Lucifer 5B is one hell of a season for Lucy fans, packed with laughter, tears, and destinies fulfilled. Yippee-ki-yay movie lovers, I'm Jan, and in this video I'm answering the big questions about how and why that happened to Lucifer, plus what to expect from Dan, Chloe, Maze, and the rest of Team Lucifer in Season 6. Obviously, spoilers ahead, so take care. God's arrival on Earth is a crucial part of Lucifer finally having to confront his issues with his father and the rest of his celestial family. Despite the family dinner going badly, Lucy and Dad are able to repair their relationship, with God telling his devilish son that he does love him just before he reveals he's retiring and going to live with the goddess in her universe. This sets up the climactic showdown between Lucifer and Michael, the two final contenders to take over the position of Almighty. The two brothers face off at the LA Memorial Coliseum, a fitting location given everything associated with the word Colosseum, the most famous of which in Rome was home to gladiatorial battles and public executions. Michael has the majority of the other angels on his side. However, because he doesn't have the unanimous support needed, his attempt to claim the title of God fails, so he tries to kick off a celestial battle between the two sides, something neatly foreshadowed earlier in the 9th episode.
You have to play in the family war zone.
Do I?
Chloe takes down a couple of angels with melted down demon blade bullets, and to avoid further bloodshed, the twin brothers agree to fight each other. Michael has the advantage of the flaming sword, the divine weapon that Lucifer used to send his mother into another dimension, and which has the power to erase from existence even immortal beings like Lucifer. And when Michael slices a cut into Lucy's midriff, it's a callback to what Dan did when he brandished Azrael's blade against Lucifer in the Season 2 episode Trip to Stabby Town.
I know you ate my pudding.
As Lucifer and Michael struggle over control of the sword, Chloe disables it by pulling out the key. And as Lucifer goes to pick up the blade, Azrael appears.
I'm sorry, Lou.
Azrael was Ella's special ghost friend in the Season 3 bonus episode Boo Normal, and as the Angel of Death, she shows up when somebody is about to die. Just at that moment, Michael brutally stabs Chloe with Zadkiel's staff, which is, ironically but also importantly, the last remaining piece of the Tree of Life. Chloe dies in Lucifer's arms, accepting she was never to blame for Dan's death. So, free of guilt, she reunites with her father in heaven, and the sandwiches you see them enjoying together are an Easter egg to the 2nd season episode My Little Monkey, when Chloe made the same ones for Trixie.
Egg sandwiches, the Decker family tradition.
So good. Grandpa used to bring me this sandwich every Thursday after acting class.
So good.
Lucifer refuses to accept Chloe's death and decides to go to heaven to bring her back, despite Michael saying his twin will die doing that.
You know, because of the whole you're banished from heaven and would be instantly incinerated if you returned thing.
Nonetheless, Lucifer flies up to heaven and survives the journey thanks to the immortality contained in Lilith's ring. When Lilith blew her immortality into the ring, it transformed from white to black. So notice how the ring now has little white swirls in it, showing how the protection's been activated and its power is being used up. With some help from Mr. Said Out Bitch, Lucifer finds Chloe and tells her she must go back. Proving his selfless love for her, he takes off the ring which is protecting him and tells her,
I choose you, Chloe. Yes. I love you.
This is a bittersweet moment once more for Decastar fans who've been waiting for those 3 little words. To quote Ella,
I was so ready to have my Decastar dreams crushed again.
but the couple are separated again, with Chloe returning to Earth while Lucifer seemingly burns up. As Chloe comes back to life, Michael tries to kill her again, but the resurrected Chloe discovers she now has immense strength, enough to go up against even an angel like Michael, thanks to the necklace part of the flaming sword that she's still holding. And as she picks up Azrael's blade, she seems like she's on the verge of actually killing Michael. Remember from Season 2 that the blade entices those who wield it to murder. However, Lucifer suddenly reappears, pulling the detective out of the blade's enchantment. So how did Lucy survive? Lucifer himself doesn't seem to know. However, there are several clues in Season 5 and earlier seasons which can give us an answer. First of all, we hadn't heard about Lucifer dying if he tried to return to heaven until Michael said it in Season 5. We know Michael lies and plays mind games, which we've seen him do to both Amenadiel and God. And for all we know, at some point he managed to convince his twin of this fact, meaning that if Lucy believed it, especially if it was tied to his own feelings of guilt over his rebellion, then because angels have the power to self-actualize, he might have made himself burn up. And perhaps it's that crucial moment of self-sacrifice, together with him accepting that he really does love her, that rids him of all his feelings of shame about whether he deserved to be accepted back into heaven. That could in turn stop him from making real the belief that he deserved to burn as a punishment for returning to his family home. So in effect, he saved himself. Also notice the importance of the word choose in what Lucifer says to Chloe as he gives her the ring.
No, you don't have to do that.
I know I don't have to. I choose to.
What?
I choose you.
That echoes what Chloe said just before dying.
We make our own choices. I chose to be here.
Now we know just how crucial the theme of choice has been throughout the entire series. After all, Lucifer has so often spoken about his belief that he has very little or no choice in life because of God using him and others as what Lucy's called pawns in his game.
If you mean his plan to continually manipulate and control me, then agreed. It's my dad's fault. I mean, I'm sure it was him manipulating things like he always does.
So it's absolutely huge that Lucifer recognizes in this moment that he does have the power to make his own decisions. And I think that his choice to give up his own life so that Chloe could have a second chance on Earth helped make him feel worthy again and in control of his own existence. And I imagine that this was what God hoped for his fallen son all along.
It's not up to me anymore. You'll figure it out.
This idea of Lucifer making his own choices in life and not making excuses for everything by blaming his father was an important point that came up in a previous discussion between Lucy and Linda about why he didn't want to tell Chloe he was the devil.
Because she doesn't have a choice, does she? Neither do I. It's all part of his master plan to toy with us.
That's an excuse. You're doing the same thing as him now. By not telling Chloe the truth, you're taking her choice away.
Tied in with this notion of choosing is Lucy being able to finally tell Chloe that he loves her, something he almost did in the mid-season finale. Decker-Star hopes were temporarily scuppered though after the disastrous family dinner where God's somewhat cryptic answers to Lucifer's questions about whether he ever loved him made Lucy believe he wasn't truly able to love Chloe.
I am my father's son. Like him, I am incapable of love.
Again, because angels self-actualize, if Lucifer believed he couldn't love, then that would prevent him from taking the final step in acknowledging his true feelings for the detective. Fortunately, by the time God decides to leave with Goddess, he admits to Lucy that he could have been a better father and then adds,
I can say something I've wanted to for a long time. I love you, son.
This was an enormous emotional moment for Lucy, as these were things he never expected to hear from his father. Remember, Lucy said as much after he heard God Johnson say similarly emotional things in season 2.
You said some things that I think I wish he'd always said to me. I'm bloody furious. So I realised that my father would never say those things to me.
But now finally having this moment with his real father is the reason why Lucifer's later finally able to say those words to Chloe. With Lucifer's miraculous return from heaven, all the angels, including Michael, bend the knee to him, signalling he has their unanimous support as God. And when Lucifer raises a flaming sword above his head, you can see the golden sun mural right above him, together with the Olympic flames on either side. A nice reference to Lucifer's name, the Lightbringer.
Oh my me.
We can also see how the seeds for this epic moment were planted all the way back in one of Lucifer's therapy sessions with Linda in season 1.
Before you fell, you were known as Samael, the Lightbringer.
I don't go by that name anymore.
That was a name that connotated your father's love for you.
We know that God finally told Lucy that he loved in this season, but in that season 1 episode, Linda also suggested that when God cast Lucifer out of heaven and into hell, it was a gift.
It was an act of love because you are his favorite son. But here's the thing, when angels fall, they also rise. All you have to do is embrace all that you are.
She may have thought they were talking in metaphors at that time, but as it turned out, the Doctor was extremely prescient. By the end of season 5, Lucifer did indeed rise to heaven after accepting that he was loved by his father and embracing his true feelings for Chloe, who notably was also a gift from God. And talking of Chloe, I noticed that Lucifer made several mentions in the finale that it wasn't Chloe's time to go yet, and that she was still needed back on Earth, which I think is setting up a season 6 plot point.
The world still needs you, Chloe Decker.
Chloe's second chance at life is also a reminder that second chances are essentially the overarching theme of the series, with Lucifer even showing mercy to Michael, who was willing to kill both him and the detective.
In my time here on Earth, I've learned everyone deserves a second chance. Even you, Michael.
By the end of season 5, May's too found she was given a second chance at happiness when Eve returned to her, and our favourite demon discovered she'd grown a soul through the time she spent building relationships with people on Earth. As for Linda, she reconciles with her grown-up daughter who she gave up as a teenage mother. And through her relationship with Amenadiel, Linda has taken a second chance to form a family with him and Charlie. And when God comes to appreciate how he failed his wife by neglecting her through his work, he takes the opportunity of a second chance to build a new life with her by going to live in her universe. Over the course of the series, Dan has also reformed himself and grown to be a better person. He was, of course, cruelly killed in the 5th season, and when Amenadiel visited heaven, he discovered Dan wasn't there, as his lingering feelings of guilt about his past mistakes in life had taken him to hell. However, I think that with some help from Team Lucifer in Season 6, Dan will find a way to leave hell and ascend to heaven, just like Mr. Said Out Bitch managed to do.
I know I took your advice. I faced my family. My guilt.
You went through the door.
Yep. Finally. And boom. Heaven!
Mr. Said Out Bitch's arc is a mini version of Lucifer's. They were both stuck in hell in the first episode of Season 5, with Lucy agreeing to help Lee find the source of his guilt, which stemmed from the time he felt too ashamed to visit his family for his sister's baby shower. Although Lucifer berates Lee for his failings, it's clear that the scene is meant to illuminate Lucy's innermost feelings about his own celestial family.
If you go through that door, it's only a matter of time before you screw up again. And so you'd rather stay away for all eternity?
This isn't just about me, is it? Whose hell is this anyway?
Like Lee, Lucifer decided to go through the door to his family home when he faced up to his shame and risked everything by returning to heaven, which in turn broke him out of his own metaphorical hell loop. Likewise, Dan will have to find the key to walking through the door that's keeping him in his own personal hell. It'll be interesting to see what in particular Dan feels so guilty over still in Season 6, and who will be able to visit him to help him escape his own hell loop. And like many other Lucy fans, I'll be doing another rewatch of the show to look for more clues before Season 6. But as much as we love our streaming services, it can be really frustrating when the TV show you want to watch isn't available in your country. Thanks to NordVPN, the sponsor of this video though, you can make these geo-restrictions a thing of the past. Although some shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Friends are on a break from Netflix in the US, with Nord you can still watch these on Netflix in other countries such as the UK. Use the NordVPN app to pick a server in another location and browse the internet as if you were there. Nord won't slow you down either, and you're still able to get super fast speeds when connected. There's no bandwidth throttling, and thanks to Nord's secure encrypted connection, you get to keep your online activity private from your internet service provider. On top of that, Nord has a no-log policy, so it doesn't record or retain details of your online activity when you're connected to its service. For a limited time, NordVPN are offering all our viewers a huge discount plus 1 month free. Just visit nordvpn.com/flix or go to the link in the video description to grab the offer, or use coupon code FLIX when you check out. There'll be more Lucifer 5B episodes coming up, including Easter eggs and things you missed, plus Season 6 theories. Tap here to watch the full playlist, which will have each new video as soon as I upload it. There's also a link in the video description. So what did you think of the Season 5 finale, and do you have any theories on what you'd like to see in Season 6? Leave your comments below, and if you enjoyed this, then a like and a share are hugely appreciated. Tap left for my next Lucifer video, or tap right for something else you're sure to like. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers!